should we make our session general questions and answers regarding anything we took before? يعني I ask questions, you're going to give me your feedback to make sure you understood what happened before? Or you're not willing to do this?
Well, because I couldn't come Sundays, that's why.
Yeah, but we can share the information. It's like a review. Because I'm planning to have like a quiz. What do you think? Is it a good idea? Take home a quiz. We can.
You can have like a day for like review.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be like a week from now.
The quiz?
Yeah.
Kind of
No, take home. I'm saying. Take home. What do you suggest? Should we have a session to review stuff, or no? We move on. Keep moving on. What do you think?
This is my second session.
What's good? What do you think is a good idea? We should review, huh? Because exams are very difficult. What do you think? Huh? Review? Okay. What do you think? I should pick your names. You are Amin, isn't it? And you are? Hassan. Amin, Hassan? Khadija? Noor. Yeah, I know you, but so they can know each other. I'm bad in names, so I'm gonna forget, next week. I'm very bad. I always forget names and numbers. I have a problem with, except if it's history. Like علم الرجال. Quickly here, we can record for 10 minutes and then we'll do the review. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وعز المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Our today's topic, based on the book that we are following for Sayyid al-Hakim, is about الهدف أو الأهداف من نزول القرآن. And the second one will be أسباب النزول. This is a very famous subject. This is more into reasons, advantages, goals, just name it, behind delivering Quran to humanity, to Arabic people and to humanity. So this is wider topic. This is more specific one, it's important. What is أسباب النزول? We say in Arabic, أسباب is the plural of sabab. What's sabab? Don't cheat. Reason. Okay, you tell me, I have a flu. Oh, what happened right away, isn't it? Yeah. Did you get infected? I want to know the reason. And always we say, whenever there is a cause, we'd like to know what's that cause. We have an ayah, a verse was delivered to the Prophet. Was a reason behind it or no? It was going to deliver it anyway. So when I say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for instance, delivered for us as a human being through the Prophet by Jibreel alayhi salam, Surah Al-Ikhlas or Surah Al-Tawheed. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Why it was delivered? Why? Is there a reason? Is there an event? Is there a story behind it? So that reason here, we can add to a more spices, okay? So we might be what? Event. Is there a story? Is it a general thing? By default, this surah should be delivered for, humanity overall, whether there is event or not. Is it answering a question? Is it to strengthen our faith, and so many things we have. Okay? Event, story, general, what's the difference? Well, we have so many different reasons. Okay? But our problem is how authentic are those reasons? That we are going to discuss in a bit. Good? So our topic is about Asbab al-Nuzul today. Asbab al-Nuzul, that means, is there a reason why this ayah, means verse, or surah, means a chapter, was delivered? Is there a reason behind delivering that specific chapter or ayah or bunch of ayat, verses? Is there always a reason? And how authentic that reason? That's another problem that we have to investigate. Reasons like what? Reasons like, for instance, if we remember from our previous sessions, Surah At-Tawheed, among Sunnah and Shia, and the hadith is sahih, according to so many scholars, they came to the Prophet, people from, we call them the people of the book. They came to the Prophet and they asked they asked the Prophet to explain to them the real ID, characteristics, attributes of God. And that's why they call Surah Al-Ikhlas Al-Ikhlas. Okay, Al-Ikhlas. What's Surah Al-Ikhlas? Sometimes we call it Surah Al-Tawheed. Sometimes we call it what? Surah Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad, as the old scholars used to call them. Because as you know, the names of the surah is not from the Prophet. Okay, they are derived from the event of a surah. And so many ahadith from Ahlul Bayt, they do not use the name that we use nowadays. They use the beginning of the surah. Surah Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad. Surah Inna Anzalnahu Fi Laylatul Qadr. This is the way they start by the beginning of the surah, they name it. Is that clear? We discussed that before. Al-Ikhlas, they call it also Surah An-Nisbah. Al-Nisbah. What's An-Nisbah? ينسب الشيء يعني to talk about its attributes, one of the meaning of the Nisbah. Okay? Nisbah sometimes means portion. That's a different story. Nisbah. Insub lana rabbuk. Who is your God? Tell us about his what? Attributes. How does he look like? Is he like us? No, he's not like us. What do you say about God? The same way you, like it, for instance, Christians, does he have a son? Parents? Is he the creator? What do you call him? Do you have different names? So they say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivered Surah Al-Ikhlas. And that's why they say it is one of the reasons. I'm not saying it is, but one of the reasons. The surah starts with what? قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. They ask you, indirectly, this is from the event of the story. They ask you about who is your God. So the surah answered, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Say, He is Allah, the only one. So قُل here is like what? Answering what? Their question. Is that clear? And that's one of the reasons you see in the surahs, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ. Why start قُل? Did not stay right away. Could have stated it this way, Allahu Ahad. Why there is قُل? Because it's answering a question. This is one of the reasons. One of the reasons. Okay, we talked about this in details before. There is another reason. What's the other reason? Has nothing to do with the question. Like قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Why I have قُلْ? Maybe no one asked about those. But the reason we say قُلْ, قُلْ means in English what? Say. To tell us this Quran is not from the Prophet. It's from Allah, and Allah is ordering the Prophet to say it. Say, Muhammad. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering him to say it, therefore as followers of the Prophet, better what? Say it. Because our leader, our role model is saying it. He has to say it. So we talked about this before. Just this is a refresh. Okay? So they call this سورة الإخلاص, سورة التوحيد, سورة النسبة, سورة قل هو الله أحد, أو التي ذكر فيها قل هو الله أحد, أو التي بدأت بقل هو. منيح. So here, I know the event behind this surah. There was an event. Group of people came. Yes.
Where was it? Was it during Mecca? Was it like?
Oh, okay. This is a good question. Was it in Mecca or in Medina? We have different opinions. And this is, inshallah, we'll talk about, remind me about it. Is it everything in the Quran that says this surah is Madaniya, is really Madaniya or Makkiyah? What's the difference again between Madani and Makki? This is a refresh. I'm sorry, I went off the topic, but quickly, what's Madani, what's Makki? What's a surah? We call it Surah Madaniya and Surah Makkiyah. It's like you have dual citizenship. Hey, he is Lebanese or Iraqi, and he is American, right? Okay, how do I identify someone as American? You tell me he was born in America. Okay, how he is Lebanese? He was born in Lebanon. You tell me, okay, he's Lebanese, born in Lebanon, but now, oh, he's American. How? Oh, we have a procedure. He gets a citizenship, okay? So in Mecca and Madani, is it the same thing? I'm trying to simplify the process, okay? I'm trying to simplify it so you can remember it. We have a group of scholars that says any surah, according to their claim, any surah that is or that was delivered in Mecca, we call it what? Makkiyah. Like he was born in Lebanon, therefore he is Lebanese. Any surah that was delivered in Medina, they claim it is what? Madaniyah. This is nice and to a certain point. Later on we'll see a problem. But how I'm going to guarantee it was Madaniyah? How? So that's why we have a group, another group of scholars, they said, no. Makkiyah has to do with the content itself. If the content is short, small, talking about hereafter, good morals, things like that, general things, general aqidah, this is what? Makkiyah. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. When I have ayat talking about legislations, details, just name it, okay? وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَهِلَّةِ قُلْ هِيَ مَوَاقِيتٌ لِلنَّاسِ. Okay, this is, they call it what? Madaniya. Why? Because Muslims in Medina, they start building what? Their first civilization. In Mecca, they cared more about what? About akhirah, akhlaq, believing in God. Clear? Do we have more opinions about Madani and Makki? Yes, but I don't have time for it now because we have to go back to our point. And I promise, God willing, if we're still alive, okay, we'll go over it. So back to here, we have an event. This is we call min asbab al-nuzul. Asbab is the plural of sabab. Okay? I had a student, he said, so Sheikh is like kibba kebab. Sabab, asbab. I said, okay, if you are hungry, I'm fine. If you remember it this way, I don't mind it. But sabab, asbab. Okay? Sabab means the reason. Why this surah was delivered, or this ayah, we had a reason. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ was delivered because the Jews, according to a narration, and then narration among Sunnah and Shia, that they asked the Prophet about what? Tell us about your God. Who is your God? Identify him. So Jibreel came and he said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Tell them, say, قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. So this is an event. An event, you can tell me this is answering a question. Yes, it is. But also it's an event. It's not just a question. It's a group of people. It's an event. including answering questions. Another event, we have so many events. يوم الغدير. يا أيها, we say, oh the messenger of God, بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك. Oh, بلغ. So they say, according to our resources and some Sunni resources, he took the hand of Imam Ali and he said, من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. Do we have another event that is narrated in our book? Yeah, Sunni and Shia. We have, for instance, a poor person came to the prophet, to the mosque. A poor person came to the mosque asking for money, begging for money. And keep in mind, an Arabic guy begging for money is a big deal. So because the Arab people, they used to have their own, prestigious, lifestyle. Nowadays, maybe a beggar it's a profession. They make more money than you. If you add to it Medicare or Medicaid or food stamp, okay? Don't do it. Sallallahu al-afiyah. So anyway, but sometimes we beg the money in a different way. And you have always to be a mu'min with self-dignity, self-respect. That's the idea. That's a different story now. Because you have to be aziz. Aziz. Okay, you do not sell yourself for money, no matter what. You sell yourself for akhirah. That's it. Jannah. Less than Jannah is not worth it. Habibi, you're going to live this life once. Okay? So here we have the poor guy in the mosque talking, asking for what? Charity, for money. No one gave him. They say Imam Ali alayhi salam was praying. By the time he went to ruku', and this guy, it seems he was in need, begging for money, creating, I don't know what kind of atmosphere in the mosque. So Imam Ali pointed his hand to that poor person to take off his ring as a charity. So they say when that happened, Jibreel delivered an ayah for the Prophet. One of the ayat, I mean. إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. يعني they gave صدقة, zakat, while they are making ruku'. That's an event. So if the ayah, if I read it by itself, I'm going to understand the reason of it? No, impossible. Somehow it's impossible, isn't it? If I tell you, your master is Allah, then whom? The Prophet. Then al-mu'minun, the believers, those who, while praying, they give what? Zakah. What are you talking about? We don't give sadaqah, zakah, or khumus, or anything like, money. We don't give it while we are making ruku'. Imagine now a person comes to, a poor comes in, a poor guy, you want him to give sadaqah. You make ruku' and give him sadaqah. I mean, maybe in Japan, I do not know, but I've never seen it around. Okay? So how I'm going to understand this ayah? Here we say, knowing the event, asbab al-nuzul is what? Very important. It might make you change what? The understanding of the ayah. Is that clear? Where is the problem now? The problem, how I'm going to authenticate an event. Because some events are made up. Some of them, they are not accurate. And some of them, some scholars, because they are fanatic, or because they filter things do not match with their school of thought, what do? They twist this. For instance, one of the known scholars in Sunni school of thought, he said, وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ وَهُمْ رَاكِعُونَ means they give it charity or zakat while they are submissive to God. Has nothing to do with Imam Ali according to him. You tell him, Ya Habibi, he said ruku'. He did not say, يعني, while he is submitting to Allah. So this is why when it comes to Yadullah fawqa aydihim, Yadullah, you tell me hand, God has hand, wal'iyadhu billah. You tell me you have to take it literal. But when here it comes to ruku', you say no, does not mean ruku', it is metaphoric. So why هونيك مش metaphoric and هون all of a sudden what? Metaphoric, مجاز يعني. What's wrong with you? Here we have a problem. We don't have specific rules. And this is what, because of defending a school of thought they get used to. And don't be like that. Always be objective. Are we good? Any question? Questions? Can you give me another event? Name me another event. Because of it? Yes. Eid al-Mubarak. It's not Eid al-Mubarak. Eid, it happened Eid after. What do you have? Hadith al-Kisa. It's very interesting. Hadith al-Kisa, they say, hadith sahih among all Muslims. مش إنه بس عندنا. Yeah, the Hadith al-Kisa in certain details, okay, it's questionable from one school to another. But the idea is not questionable. Sunnah and Shia, they say, Imam Ali alayhi salam came, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Fatima, and Allah, the Prophet, what? Covered them with his kisa. This is kisa. And he said, Allahumma haula ahlu bayti. And then the ayah, إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم رجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Halla, this is an event. Is the event related to this ayah? إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Halla, you see, if you are not Shi'i, there's a big chance you're going to say what? You're going to say, oh, Sheikh, see, the ayah is talking about before and after, talking about what? The wives of the Prophet. So I have, I say, why the wife of the Prophet? It's talking about the, but who put the ayah there? Yani when the Quran is delivered, do you think every surah was delivered as a whole? No. Sometimes one ayah, sometimes several ayah, sometimes one surah. Sometimes it is delivered certain time and Jibreel told the Prophet to put it in certain surah. You get the idea? So being, and this is another big thing, we'll discuss it later on. So the event here, in order to twist it, what did they say? Oh, it's about what? The wife of the prophets. Why they say that? They say it because before and after is talking about what? The wives of the prophet. We tell them, Ya Habibi, the wives of the prophets in Arabic, we say, wala, I'm sorry, my handwriting, because I hurt my hand. Wala tabarrajna. Tabarrajna. In Arabic, if you are talking to women, only women, we have noon and niswa. Wala ta'kulna. Wala tashrabna. Wala tabarrajna. And that's why you see in the Quran, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ قَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. Okay? Noon and niswa. And it's saying, stay home. Don't go in wars. Later on, we explain this. Okay? So here, وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَا. All of a sudden, when it comes to this ayah, I don't see this noon and niswa. He said, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ what? عَنْكُمْ الرِّجْسَ. If it were to be for women talking to the wives of the Prophet, it's going to be what? عَنْكُنَّ. This is for ladies. عَنْكُنَّ قَرْنَ بُيُوتِكُنَّ. Okay? وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ. But when it comes to إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمْ, so it is for men. To get rid of this dilemma, what did they say? Yeah, it came delivered for women and men. So it includes the wives of the Prophet and Ahl al-Bayt that we know them. يعني خلص هو يعني he wants specific formatting. عرفت؟ يعني he loves iPhone, يعني everything has to be iPhone app. No matter what. You tell him, Ya Habibi, we have better apps. No. Okay, he finds issues. But even that is questionable. Why it's questionable? عنكم الرجس أهل. You know, in Arabic, if there is one man here in this group, and the rest are ladies, can I say كيف حالكم? Yeah, one is enough. It changed the whole thing. Dominant. Has nothing to do with discrimination. Okay. Because he is responsible if something happens. I'm joking. One. So if Imam Ali alayhi salam is included, therefore, we can say عنكم الرجس, including the wives as they claim. We say, hold on. The ayah is talking about الرجس. يعني they are pure from wrong things. And we know some of those wives, or one of those wives, did big problem in Islam, committed big issue, a war, did not stay home, and she went against her imam, her khalifa. Yes. And this ayah has nothing to do with that. That's a big subject. So here, what I'm trying to teach you, and some of you know that, I'm teaching you that event by itself is not enough. You have to analyze the event and the ayah to make sure it is what? Accurate. In other words, we do not just read history blindly. We have to analyze it. Like when we nowadays listen to news. From one channel to another channel, Ya Habibi, from one TikTok to another TikTok, you see a big difference, which is 10 seconds maybe a difference, isn't it? Isn't it? So same thing in history. And events are history more than hadith. Some of it is hadith, some of it is history. Someone said, Sahabi said, oh, it happened because of this. He maybe got the wrong information. I'm not questioning Sahaba. Okay? Any question about this? You understand what's Asbab al-Nuzul now? Can you tell me another Asbab al-Nuzul? Yeah, very good. In Surah Al-Rum, in the time of the Prophet, they say the Romans were defeated. And it was a big deal. Quran was delivered to the Prophet and said, غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ. After they have been defeated, they will be what? Victorious. And it happened. Okay, so this is event. Sometimes it's talking about the future, which is this here. It's event plus the future. Here it's the future. Example of future. تَبَّتْ يَدَا أَبِي لَهَبٍ وَتَبْ, which we are going to discuss, inshallah, Saturday. Tafsir session. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. The relative of the Prophet is going to be a loser. And he was a loser. He did not convert to Islam. Okay? So this is event, stories. We have so many stories. Okay? Either it's talking about something already happened. So they are asking the Prophet about Dhul Qarnayn. This is... They asked the Prophet about Ashab al-Kahf. What happened to them? How many they are? Okay? How many years they stayed in the cave sleeping? Islam gave them answers. And so many things. So is that clear here? Okay? Sometimes we have a general things. We do not know the event. We do not know. Or the event is questionable. Okay? Or the event is questionable. This is also portion of the wisdom of God. All is based on the wisdom of God. Allah knows we are going to need this kind of legislations. Even there is no event happened. Okay? Questions? Another one, answering a question, and this is Allah in the Quran. I mean, I'm avoiding using my phone, but I'm gonna use it. Okay. If I open the Quran, for instance, and put, sorry, يسألونك. Okay. So يسألونك. يسألونك, I have like 13 based on my app يعني 13 آية. يسألونك عن الأنفال، يسألونك عن الأهلة، يسألونك so many things. يسألونك مثلا ويسألونك عن الروح، قل الروح من أمر ربي. يسألونك عن الجبال فقل ينسفها ربي نسفا. يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت منه. يسألونك مثلا ماذا أحل لهم. يسألونك عن المحيض قل فيه أذى. يسألونك عن اليتامى قل إصلاح لهم خير. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. يسألونك ماذا ينفقون ويسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو. Just name it. So many ayat about يسألونك. Sometimes it's direct question, sometimes it is what? Indirect. Okay? Indirect. So all this, so the last one here, to strengthen our faith. Just a quick here of the subject, quickly. Someone sent me a link, and he said, Sheikh, how come the Quran did not say khamr is haram? How come? He asked. Yes, how come? Ya Habibi, the Quran made it tougher than haram. He said about al-khamr, fajtanibuh. What's fajtanibuh? Stay away. شو يعني stay away? يعني now you have a tree. I tell you, do not eat from that tree. Okay, you don't eat. But you can sleep under the tree. You can build a house on the tree. Okay? You can have a swing in that tree. Check? But if I tell you, keep off, don't even approach that tree, can you do anything with it? No, it's worse. And that's why in khamr, it's not only haram to drink, it's haram to drink, to gift, to give it to someone, to serve, to help someone making to work in a bar as a bartender. Just name it. It's haram to sell it, haram to own a liquor shop, haram to ring it up if you are working in a gas station. Nowadays, alhamdulillah, we have some halal businesses, but in other areas, it's a problem. Okay? Anything that's it is haram to have a t-shirt that has khamr on it, alcohol. You're making free advertisement for Jahannam. If a restaurant sells alcohol, and by going there, and if it's only alcohol place, like a bar, okay, definitely it's a problem. But no, it sells alcohol, and let's say in certain states you have a license for alcohol, and your restaurant is another license. Depends now. If you are not supporting and spreading, okay, the concept of alcohol in the community, then it is fine. But if he is a Muslim and he is selling alcohol as a way to tell him, hey, I denounce your way of thinking, you should not go there, because you are encouraging him indirectly. So here we have to have social awareness.
If he's not a Muslim,
That's his way. But I'm by going there, I'm not supporting his haram business. Okay? And another thing, you have to look at your image. Are you tarnishing your image when you be there and someone say, oh, I saw you in this. يعني واحد رايح ياكل, he can go to Pizza Hut, he can go to Hooters مثلا. Big difference. Okay, sorry.
Say you work at a bar.
Yeah,
But you do
I don't work in a bar.
not you.
No, don't use you.
Like, okay, I used to cater for.
Yeah, if it has alcohol, it's haram. If it has pork, according to the famous opinion, it's haram. You are not allowed to deliver pork.
Like, say I don't serve the alcohol or deal with the alcohol.
That's fine.
I serve something like.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a different story. You are not serving alcohol.
Yeah, I'm not doing.
Or you are a waiter. You tell me, I just take the order. Haram. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Okay, this is not تعاون على البر والتقوى. Okay, I had to change the subject a little bit. Now back to here. To strengthen our faith, the examples I gave now, just to explain this. How we have these questions. Okay? Is it haram? Is it halal? In the time of the Prophet, they want some answers. This is, we call it answering questions. And sometimes, no, it's not about this. It's about what? It's about big things. Oh, we are going to be defeated. The enemy is stronger than us. Are we going to fail? Oh, the people gathered to, and they outnumbered us. We should be afraid of them. No, and that's why you see ayat to help the mu'mineen. الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا. Sometimes they used to spread rumors to make Muslims what? Weak, desperate, afraid. And the Quran was a solution for them. Okay, and because the Quran is not about only tahara or najasa, or events happened in the past. Okay, so this is important. And when you belong to Allah and you see Allah is giving you solutions, you feel proud. You feel there is someone taking care, divine power taking care of me. And that's why you see their aqidah is so strong. Why? They felt this touch of caring, love. They felt that Allah is with them through the Prophet. The existence of the Prophet among them is very important. And that's why we say, and I tell you my advice, praying at home is not like praying in a mosque. Being in a group sessions like this is different than watching a YouTube. There is something that that you can gain indirectly from your instructor. If that instructor is what? Is pious, polite, among those who are righteous. If not, that's a different story. And that's why when you go visit Maraja, you sit with them, you feel what? Comfortable. Not because you have big image about them. No. They look humble, nice, easygoing. Okay? Clear? Questions here? Those are the story about Asbab al-Nuzul. Now, Asbab al-Nuzul, we were not going to discuss them, but we ended up discussing them. Asbab al-Nuzul, it's a questionable. Why? Because the majority of the narrations that talk about Asbab al-Nuzul is weak. Is weak. I'm sorry?
It's downstairs.
Someone is what?
No, I thought his phone was playing.
Playing?
There's background.
I don't have, I have it muted. It is there. Okay? So most of the narrations here are what? Weak, narrations when it comes to Asbab al-Nuzul. And this is a problem for us. Because Asbab al-Nuzul can tell us, and it can help us in understanding what the verdict and the reason behind it. So if it is weak, can I apply it? No. But it can give me what? General understanding. And some of those Asbab al-Nuzul, is what? Is not narrated by Sahaba. Some of them maybe Tabi'een. Or maybe the Sahabi understood the ayah and giving you his opinion. Or the Sahabi assumed something. So this is another subject that has to be studied. Hopefully one day we'll go into details. Okay? So we stop it here. Any questions?